And
Yeah.
the last thing I want to
Well,
say is when I stopped believing in Rawls. Um, I'm a stand-up comic by hobby, and occasionally I perform actually like shows and produce shows. But you go to open mics, and I went to an open mic at Flappers, which is in Burbank, California, at like 11:30 p.m. And they had so many people there that because you get 3 minute spots and it's done by lottery, it's all random. And they said, if we do the lottery, about half of you won't go up. But if we do 2 minute spots instead of 3 minute spots, all of you will go up. And so we're going to put it to a vote. Do you want everyone to get 2 minute spots or half the people have 3 minute spots? And I'm like, this is John Rawls. This is the veil of ignorance.
yeah,
And of
yeah.
course, I voted for 2 minutes, as you might expect, being, egalitarian, better for all. How do you think the vote went?
I'm guessing that the lottery prevailed.
90%. I was like one of two people with their hands up. And I really thought about this. Like, to me, that was like revelatory. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is society. Now, I wonder is if this was someplace like Wisconsin as opposed to California with like a less of a me first vibe, more community oriented, would the vote have been different if it wasn't stand-up comics who are obviously egocentric?
I don't know. I'm surprised. I mean, the only organic reason I can think of is that people had prepared 3 minute spiels and they either wanted to go out there and do their 3 minute thing or not go at all, as opposed to having to reconstruct and take out half their material, a third of their material. That would make some sort of sense, because ordinarily, if that were not a factor, I would just think that 90% would vote for the 2 minutes, because it makes more sense. It's the Rawls vote, and so that they didn't makes me think that, okay, well, I got 3 minutes of material. They've timed it out to the split second. I don't know that much about stand up. I mean,
That's an argument, and people
thought,
present that to me all the time. To rebut my theory, people present that. But having done open mics where it's fairly improvisational, I don't. I mean, it could be valid,
yeah.
but I don't think it is. I think it's that people would rather take a chance on getting more
Yeah.
than guarantee everybody gets some.
Yeah, well, and and the thing with the elections is we don't even think it's taking a chance. I mean, I think we're in agreement that what they did is a very good sign. It's another freestanding piece of evidence that the fix has been in for a long time, because they went to a place where they really couldn't verify anything, and the only way you'd sit comfortably with that is if you thought it broke in your favor, and that you weren't going to be like screaming and scratching your head and saying, how could we lose this? And then we have the evidence that they just kept winning, starting with Max Cleland in Georgia. And, in 2002, they knocked off an incumbent paraplegic who he was ahead by 7, 8 points in the polls. He was popular, and all of a sudden he loses by 6 points. That was right after those machines were installed, and they've never looked, well, until 2020, they never looked back.